press go. Well, no, I need to
No. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
It's been an adventuresome few weeks. So
it's been adventuresome.
That sounds slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
No. I did a girls' weekend.
Oh, okay.
Tell me. Where'd you go?
Yeah, girls' weekend to the California Pen Show.
Yeah, I knew about. Okay, I knew about that.
Okay, so yeah, you did. But the thing is, we did it as a girls' weekend, which was so much fun. 3 of us sharing one hotel room, and it worked. It was so good, But it was fun. I went with my friend Suzette from Suzette's Pretty Pages, and I went with Sue Beck, who also, and it's so funny because we got to spend a night with Sue Jen at her house. Sue Jen is Tasha. And she's like, oh, can you come help at the table? And we said, no. No, we went as participants this time. So that was fun.
It's fun to not be behind a table.
No, we went as participants this time. Wait a minute. I get it. Oh, there we go. Good morning. I had to, hi, Kate.
Oh,
So,
well.
Anyway.
I'm glad you had fun in LA.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll talk all about that, but we also have a special guest today.
We do.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself for the people that might not know you?
Well, sure. I am Tori Woods-Ballantyne from Stationery Universe. And I am also, as Claire and Alexandra are, just big fans of pens and paper and stationery and all of the items and all of the things. And I also really like space, which is, probably a good indication for the name of Stationery Universe. And I'm looking forward to meeting folks in the chat.
Yeah.
It's very appropriate that we have you here as well because you're at Stationery Universe. And one of the things, and I didn't put it in the flyer when I did it, is, we always do coffee and pens, pen somewhere. But this week we also decided to talk about stationery.
We did.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I know, which is perfect. It's like different types of papers. I have several of Tori's note cards and stuff, which is fountain pen friendly, and they're absolutely beautiful. And I have a few things from Tori, so I hope to see what she brings to the Baltimore Pen Show.
Thank you. Yep, got a couple new things, and then some new things coming as well with Pen Realm for Chicago Stationery Fest. We are doing a new collaboration, so we'll have some brand new things there as well.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful because I'm going to that too. Hey,
you're going to both Chicago Stationery Fest and the Chicago Pen Show?
I am. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so jealous of both of you.
Well, come down.
Come down. Well, she's going to be in Chicago Pen Show.
Going to be at the Chicago. Okay. Tori, it's Chicago Pen Show is only happening because a pen brand is paying for my hotel.
Understand. Okay. Well, yay for the pen brand.
the Canadian dollar is not great right now.
Okay. Well.
No, I'm glad that they're bringing you in because I think that's like I think that's wonderful that they're bringing you in because I think you're a great pure person, and I think you'll do great for the. Peter's watching. I think you'll be great for the pen brand, and you just bring a sparkle and shine to whatever you're doing. So.
Thank you.
I'm a little biased. I think she's wonderful. I met. We'll have our anniversary at the Chicago Pen Show. It's been 1 year. It will be 1 year in May.
It'll be 1 year since Tori and I met in person, though we had been following each other on Instagram since 2021, and neither of us knew who the other person was in person. It was really funny.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I think we ended with I was running around trying to find you bubble wrap.
Yes, so that I could fly ink bottles home safely.
Did they all make it?
They did.
Then it was a success.
They did. It was a success. Everything made it home. Everything made it through security. It was great.
It's perfect. I have a thing Kate, now that I take.
Kate is worried about her bank account, and that's fair.
Hey,
I-
I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I interrupted. Go ahead. You go.
I may or may not have gotten Claire to do a little bit of shopping for me in LA, so I've already made a dent in my Chicago budget.
What did she pick up for you in LA?
It was a good deal.
It was a good deal.
It was a very good
it
deal.
And
unboxed?
it was a very specific nib that I've wanted for a very long time.
Okay.
And the rule was I was only going to pick one up if I found the nib I wanted. And I
Mhm.
sent Claire a text and they had the nib I wanted. And I
Yep.
went,
I think
oh,
that's so smart. When you put like guardrails on yourself like that, that means that you end up getting the things that you really, really wanted. And that
yeah.
It was on
What is the
special.
name?
It was on special. It's beautiful. In fact, Suzette picked up one herself.
Okay.
I hemmed and hawed, and I decided not to because I hemmed and hawed. You don't mind if I open up the package?
No, I was about to say, go ahead and unbox it.
Yes, yes. And wait a minute.
I'll unbox it again at Chicago.
Yes, you can do that, and I'll try to say some of the. They put a seal on this thing
Who
here.
doesn't like a twice baked potato? We can have a twice unboxed pen.
Twice baked potatoes are one of my potatoes are a food group.
100%. Like you could. Oh, that's
The soda pop.
beautiful.
Net, so it's so pretty.
The soda pop with the Zoom nib
Yeah,
That's my favorite nib from Salem.
because I desperately wanted a Zoom.
I love the Zoom nib, and you know you
too.
can't. Sailor nibs are just wonderful. It's just like, and
I did.
and
get
yes,
my
I
grasp
did buy her the. I did buy her the. I promised her that I would get it, and that was the first place I went to, and I was able to get you.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yes, and this
Well,
it's
because they didn't.
great.
Yeah, they didn't release the "Have a Nice Road Trip" clip in Canada. It was a U.S. only release.
Yep. So I'll put
So
it back in
I
a
need
little pack.
somebody else to do the shopping for that because when they do the U.S. only releases, even if you order sometimes to a U.S. address with a Canadian credit card, they'll cancel the order. Yeah.
Really neat.
It's just so stupid. It really is. Yeah, so there you go. It's Soda Pop, the Professional Pro Gear Slim Pen of the Year 2022.
I didn't care about any of that. I cared about the nib.
But it's
I've wanted
really,
a Zoom, and they had it in a Zoom.
mm-hmm.
It's a pretty color though too.
It's
I like
very
that.
pretty color, and
Yeah.
it's lovely. They had the Pro Gear Slim and they had the Pro Gear in the Soda Pop, but they didn't have very many left. It was I joined the Sailor Guild. And they whenever they have specials and stuff, you're the first one to know. And we went and did a journaling night with them. They had like a thing that we went journaling. Because of Valentine's Day, it was like write a love letter, and then they showed you how to do the Jane Austen type fold, and then we wax sealed them. It was really kind of cool to do. So it was a fun night, even though it was cold and it was outside under heaters.
It was cold in California?
Oh my God, yeah, it was freezing. It was like 40 degrees for LA, and it was raining.
Okay, so what's
I
that
had-
in Celsius?
I don't know what that is in Celsius, but 40 to 50. And
That's like
can ask Siri. I mean,
I wanna-
Alexa, whatever.
whatever it is. I want to say it's like 10.
Here, I'll just do the math. Or I'll Google it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I could say, hey, Alexa, what is 40 degrees in Celsius?
40 degrees Fahrenheit is about 4.4 degrees Celsius.
4.4 degrees Celsius. There you go. So,
Oh, somebody just placed an order.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
let's hook
order
that.
place Tori. Oh,
Thank you.
the other thing that you have that I got and I absolutely love is your hand painted converters. Will you have more at the show?
We will have more at the show. Yes. Amanda Quilly Pig will be bringing, I believe, some more for a restock.
All right. All right. They're
What,
beautiful.
What are you looking for in particular? Are you thinking about Sailor or Standard International
Both.
or Pilot? Platinum.
Platinum. Yeah, I got, it's like I've actually been loving writing with my sailors these days.
Mhm.
You know, I just got a few, yeah. So, you know, I'm not a completionist. You know, I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I think being a completionist is sometimes a man thing. You know, I don't need to have this, that, like, oh my God, I love the KOP, and I don't need to have every KOP in every color they make. You know, I'm going to be selective. I may not like every color they make. And I had a conversation with a couple of people the other day, and they're completionists, and now they're like angry at themselves because they may not like the color of the pen. And it's like, well, why do you find that need to be a completionist?
It's tough though. There's something satisfying about like seeing them in a row and
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
you know,
well, and that's when you should sell them though. Like there's such a robust, secondhand market for pens. I feel like pens are made to be used. That's part of what's so beautiful about them is their utility. So sell it, get it back out into the world, so that someone else can find joy with it and then get something that sparks joy for you.
And I
mhm.
feel like the secondhand market this year,
Mm.
I'm seeing so many more pens. Like whatever the Instagram page is called, Virtual Pen Show, I think.
Hmm.
Like always had posts, but it never seemed to be this many posts.
Yeah.
Like it seems like every time I open my phone, like they're near the top of my feed and they've got new pens up.
Yeah, someone agrees with me,
Yeah.
T. Bayless.
Hmm.
Yeah, I if I don't like the color, I'm not going to get it. I don't need to complete it.
Yeah, I find that these days I have to both like the color and it has to be a nib I like or something that's easy to swap.
Mm-hmm.
So I will pick up something in a color or in a nib I don't like that's a Yovo size 6, knowing that I can easily swap it. But I won't do that with something that's you can't easily find replacement nibs for.
Well, Sailor, you can't really find replacements for, so it's like you got to make sure that you're getting the nib that you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a grind put on it. If you, I know some people only like extra fine and fine. That's all they like.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's their thing. I'm a broad or a Zoom person, so that's, what I like. I like to see my ink on the paper, I guess. But yes, but saying that, I do have some mediums because some pens, their mediums are like hoses. They're like,
Mhm.
like Pelican, for instance. Actually, I just purchased an extra nib and a Pelican for my M1000, and I got the fine. And it's still
Oh.
like a hose. Yeah, so my gestures.
Every color of the eco.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mean, that is fun. They have fun colors.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they
Like,
do have colors.
there's somebody I follow on Instagram that has nearly every Kaweco sport of the modern ones. Like, that's cool. I love seeing the rainbow. Like, if you're going to collect one style of pen, that's one thing. But it's when, like, there are people that, like, collect every pen that Sailor's ever done. And, like, that gets expensive fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They put out a lot of pens, and they are not cheap.
No. It's so funny because Peter and I started liking sailors together, basically, and he got one in, and I took it from him, and I said I really liked it. I said, "Oh, can I have it, please?" And he said, "Okay." So he got a couple more in, and it was a color that I absolutely loved, and he wouldn't share it.
You should have offered to trade him back the one you had.
I did, and he said, "No bueno."
Was it a limited edition? Could you not get another one?
I'm not doing that. I'm not going to have two pens of the same color in the house. We do
Why,
share.
it's romantic. You could
I
have
know we do
matching
share.
pens.
I
We
would
use
I would agree with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are all like, and most of those brands only put out, other than Kaweco, who puts out many, many pens a year, especially when they were doing store limited or store editions. Most of those pen brands only put out like 4 or 5 pens a year. in each of those lines, and then you're done. So that's like a couple $100. That's still potentially less than what you'd spend on a sailor.
Right, exactly.
Um,
I'm actually being very good, and I know it's only say a $30 or $40 pen.
But Peter's giving you visitation rights, it sounds like, for the pen.
I like what he.
You're in a really fun custody agreement for this pen, Claire.
I know.
That's my mom and I. We do that sometimes. We share custody of pens and we have arrangements. 'Cause sometimes one or the other of us bogarts the pen.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, mom can just come down and borrow whatever she wants.
Yep.
So if she's like tired of what she's using, she can come down and borrow what she wants from my trays. And it does happen. Or if I want something run dry and I'm bored of the color, I'll just like hand it to her and I'll go, I need this empty. I need this to not be a problem anymore.
So at the LA Pen Show, I found a pen I was looking for. Someone was selling it, so I got the hot pink Pilot. Right?
It's so
You can't. It's hard. This one you can't find, right? So I found it.
Mhm.
Came home, I inked it. I've been using it. I just started to get used to. I actually kind of liked them at first. At the beginning, I wasn't sure, and because of the placement of the clip and everything. But I got used to it, and it is comfortable. So all of a sudden,
This is
and
a
I
pink
have
pen
it.
moment. I just got a pink pen too.
My like hot pink little.
I just
pen
opened
tray.
a hot pink pen.
Well, I have it sitting in a hot pink leather tray, right?
Okay. I'm obsessed with your pen trays, Claire.
Is it
The
a
leather?
velvet
Yeah. In
leather?
fact, my friend that makes these is kind of sold out. So I'm waiting for him to make a new batch. And he can even do it with your name on it or someone's name on it, whatever you want it to say. So it's kind of neat. So anyway, I look over and I'm like, where is my pink pen?
Mhm.
So someone was using it. And then I get a text message. I have to go on a business. He had a meeting with a business meeting in the morning. He said, "Can I borrow the pink pen?" I'm like, "You're taking a pink pen?" But he was kind of wanted to show it because he knew the person he was meeting also liked pink. So I'm like, okay, fine. Fine. Touch my
The
pink pen.
last 3 pens I have bought are pink, and normally I'm a teal girl. Like that's the completionist that I am. If it's teal or aqua or turquoise, I'm gonna have a very hard time saying no to it. But the last 3 pens I've gotten, they're all pink. I got the Sailor Bungu box in a zoom nib,
nice.
which I'm obsessed with. I got the Heinz Taschenstift, the sweet little like
I
health
love
and
that
cute.
pen. I love the heart roll stop
I
on
love
it.
the heart, and it's really nice to open with that. And then I was also bad. I got the Pink Pony Club from Papa JW.
Oh, Pink
So
Pony
cute.
Club. Nice. Do you play the song when you post that too?
Oh, I'm gonna have yeah. Although I can't on my account because they don't let you have when you have a business Insta as opposed to a private one. They don't let you use any of the real songs. So you have to hope to find like a cover or like something close, like Rose Horse Association or something.
Yeah.
But check out that finial. Can you see that it has real flowers in it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Quite lovely.
Quite lovely.
So I have a Pink Pony Club. I have the blank from Luke because he doesn't do things with clips. So I've got a blank.
Okay.
I need
What
to
did you
figure
do
out what's
with it?
happening with it. Because it's so pretty and sparkly.
Okay, so what if talk to Heinz because Heinz did the nibs for Luke. They're the pink.
Mm,
So you could get the pink clip on yours. Maybe.
I could talk to Heinz.
Just as a
Or you can, in all seriousness, you can actually go get custom. I had a roll stop made for a pen of mine.
I know, but Claire, that's so far out of my budget, right?
No. Let's hear me out. You can go to say like a Claire's, the costume jewelry place.
Yeah.
And you can pick up. I know someone that does this. He goes to like stores and stuff, and he gets because you can press them and put them together like that, and get it to fit on there. And so yes, there's other ways if you can't get someone.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can have a clip.
On the note of pink pens, a
Mm.
pink Esterbrook in Punch.
So
Nice.
vibrant.
Super
Yep.
pretty. But then teal pens, which I also opened this weekend in a very chaotic live stream. Do you have this one yet, Tori?
Oh, the Opus 88.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's
That's
the
Aziza's.
it's Aziza's.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
I love that. The colors are totally my jam. Got teal, pink.
And then what
purple.
do you have a shimmer ink in there?
I do.
Yeah. Which shimmer ink do you have in there?
I have something from Fiercewell Press.
I love those little pens. I just wish they posted a little more securely.
I haven't
Mhm.
tried posting it. I spent most of my live stream trying to get it to write.
Was the glitter clogging it, or just needed?
No, it was. I bought it and I put it away, and it was away for several weeks, months, question mark, and I forgot what was in the box, which meant when I opened it, I didn't have any idea like how.
That's kind of fun. Like a surprise.
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic to like troubleshoot something. People seem to have enjoyed it though. It is Ferriswell Press Riveting Pond.
Well,
Wow, I have that ink. I
It's
should
very
try
pretty.
I
like
that
it.
a lot.
it. Mm-hmm.
Will you bring a sample to Chicago?
I can.
Okay, I'll trade you.
Okay. Really, you can pretty much have samples of whatever you want from the wall at Chicago. I do need to buy sample vials though. I'm almost out. After I haven't restocked since Scriptus.
I have been trying so hard to accurately swatch and inventory all of my inks. And I've been trying to be on an ink buying moratorium until I accomplish that task. The moratorium has not gone well, nor has the task.
Yeah, so I just got a notification while we've been live that Mark from Mark Your Pages
Yeah.
Hold
has
on one
tagged
second. I'll be right back. You guys talk.
because
This is
he
real life. Doorbells ring. My room's a mess.
because he has decided that since our 20 questions, he actually has to swatch his entire ink collection. And Mark has like hundreds of photos of it.
I have it like half done.
And he didn't have any inventory for his inks. And I was like, but how?
Wow. How do you know how do you not end up with 4 bottles of the same thing?
That was the doorbell, and normally no one ever rings the doorbell.
What's in the box?
Yeah. What's in the
If I taught you not, I know what's in the box, and it's not pen related.
Oh.
Well, could be pen related. I have a love for Snoopy.
Oh.
So I have no idea. I did a mystery box of Snoopy.
Oh, all right.
So we'll see. Maybe later I'll open it. So what else?
What else did you pick up at the show, Claire?
Okay, well, I was sitting there at Kirk's table having my nibs worked on, as I always do. You know.
Were you doing needle points?
Yes, I did. I loved the Kirk's
The
spear,
spear
the
point.
spear point.
Spear point.
I love the spear point, and I bought this pan. I gotta see which tray it is in now. Wait a minute. Oh, here it is. Speaking of, it's like pink. It's like rose color, and it's purple swirls with rose. It's an ebonite pen. This one here. So I bought this one, and I like the swirls of that. And I had a spear point put on there, and it's really pretty pen. It's a rust pen.
That was my guess. That's a rust.
Right,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I like the smell of ebonite. And I didn't know the story of Russ. You know, I didn't. I guess he was in an accident, and he only makes pens with one hand. So he turns them, he does them, and his story intrigued me so much, and it makes the pen. It amazed me that someone, even with a handicap, can make beautiful pens. And that he can do this, and everything. And knowing his story, I said I had to buy the pen. It just spoke to me when I saw it. And then after I saw it and I'm looking at it and everything, Kirk told me his story, and I'm like, wow, I think that's amazing. So I had to buy the Rust pen. And it writes lovely because I have a spear point on it. So spear point, it's like a fine medium on the front side, and reverse, I have a broad. So that's if anybody's wondering, this be a point. And found pen, he loves rust pens too. He makes beautiful pens, and just knowing his story, it makes the pen even more special, you know?
I absolutely agree. And the craftsmanship that he puts on them, I mean, you would never guess that he
No.
is.
And the other thing too, a friend of mine said that she got, she had some blanks, and she had leftover material. He made the pens for her, and he actually made her 2 sections, one for a Bach and one for a Yovo nib. So she can have her choice of what she wants to have put in there, which I thought was a brilliant idea. What else did I get? I did get a couple. I actually was very, very good at this show. Very good. And
This is unprecedented.
okay, so I'm looking
the
around. because I
side
thought
eye
what-
from Tori on that comment.
you know what? I bought I love Waterman pens. I like the Waterman Edson because I love the inlaid nib. And I was able, and these pens are over 20 years old. And it writes absolutely, it's the green, and it writes absolutely gorgeous. And I found it in a broad nib. And on the back of the Waterman, it says L. L's for broad. I have another one. This is only my second one. I have another. My first one is got the medium on there, but they write beautifully. Of course, while I was sitting there, I had Kirk look at it to make sure, and no, he says it's perfect. So, which is great. So I got this one. I got the rust pen, and I must have the other one put away somewhere. Anyway, and I won a pen.
Oh,
That's right. Oh,
did.
can you show
Oh,
it
I
to
saw
us?
it.
Oh, I got the pink pen. So the pink pen, yes. So I was very limited on the pens that I did purchase. And the pen, all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, standing there, and I'm like saying to someone, I never win like at stuff like this, right? I never win. And all of a sudden, and the winner of the VIP pen is Clare Coco. And I'm like, I was shocked. And it is a David Broadwell pen. And it is a copper. He did the aging of the copper himself. The synthetic ivory, and I just love the way he does it, like in an Art Deco style. And it has a medium, and it's his own gold medium nib, and it's so juicy. It writes beautifully, and I love the way he did his nib. So I'm very pleased with I love the pen. It's beautiful, and then I'm like, I still can't believe I won. So
It's a super cool pen.
yeah, it's a really cool pen. And he makes knives. His knives are just Damascus knives, and they're just absolutely beautiful. He has beautiful knives. So I was a very good girl at this show. I bought a bunch of inks and stuff too, and some station.
Do inks really count towards
No.
like a pen show total?
No,
Okay.
inks are free. No.
Just so that I needed to know the consensus there.
Yeah.
Because some people say inks count towards your pen show total number of items, and I'm like, if that's the case, like, I came home with so many more items from Chicago than I've been telling people I came home with last year.
They don't count. They really don't count.
Inks never count.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They
That's
really don't
fair.
count. I have to actually, this is bad when you can't remember. Only because I'm scattered with some stuff that you can't remember what you purchased at a pen show because you, and I know that was probably it, because I know that was just it. Yeah. Oh, yes, I did get another sailor. That's it. That's the last one I was missing. That was
Only
the last
Claire
one.
would forget a dang sailor.
Yeah,
The
I only got a
mini.
couple of
It's
Mont Blancs.
like
I just picked them up at the register, and that's cute.
Isn't it cute? It's a Nagasawa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's the mini, so you do need to post it. And so anyway, so yes, I did the mini. They only had a couple of minis when we went there. We bought Kobe inks, Nagasawa, and they had 2 of the minis, and it's so funny because I ended up getting, this one is a medium, no, this is a hard hard broad.
A hard broad. I don't think I've tried that.
No.
I
It's a
love
H,
their hard nibs compared to their
a
other nibs.
softer nib, yeah. No, and it writes lovely, and I put in one of their new inks that I got called Bungie Bucks Mother.
Hmm.
They had a few, and then they had a selection of Kobe inks, which was bitter chocolate, milk chocolate, and strawberry chocolate.
Hmm.
I actually have samples of some of those because Shannon from Couture Pens picked them up from Japan. They're fun.
Yeah,
That sounds
they're really fun, and I got all. Okay, so maybe a completionist on inks, because I got all
you like
3,
to have a
right?
whole series of inks.
So maybe a completionist on inks. It depends on the inks. Inks never count, Julia. That is correct. That's
What is
why
your,
I'm in trouble now.
What are both of your favorite ink brands, ink lines?
I like the Sailor Mano inks, but not the other Sailor inks. I find the other Sailor inks boring.
Hmm.
But I like the Mano ones.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Mont Blanc inks for the vintage stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I like Ferris Wheel Press's colors, but it bugs me how often they discontinue stuff.
Mm.
You mean like buttered popcorn?
Yeah.
Like when they discontinued 45 colors in August
Mm.
Really?
and have just discontinued some other colors. It's like, why? What's the point?
To drive the completionists nuts.
Yeah. So that I hoard 2 bottles of my daily blue ink in 85 ml bottles so that I
What is
never
it?
have to find another blue ink that I like.
What's your daily
Mm.
blue?
Dusk and Bloom.
That's pretty.
So a dusty Cinderella-y blue.
Light colors or darker colors?
Muted colors.
Okay.
I'm light or dark, don't really care, just muted. I
Mhm.
don't like overly saturated colors.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, here's another question. If you purchased a pen before a pen show, but to make it easier on the person, you're going to pick it up at a pen show, does that pen count as a pen show?
No.
No,
not.
see, no,
No.
it does not.
No.
But the thing is, it is coming out of my pen show budget. It is not like
You used the B word. I got a shiver. Just,
it is not like the credit from Goldspot or my Atlas affiliate credit.
Mhm.
Whatever's purchased with that, which I will be picking up at the pen show, doesn't count.
No, does not count. It's like,
It will be in my Chicago haul, but it does not count as money I spent at Chicago. It
No.
is affiliate credit I spent at Chicago. Whereas I am paying for the pen. So the money for the pen has to come from somewhere. And I had started to set aside money for Chicago, and the money for the pen is coming out of that money for Chicago.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we have some. Hi, Wendy. How are you this morning?
Wendy's here.
Wendy's here.
Yay.
Francisco
Julia's here.
says he's got an hard broad you can try.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I actually love the hard broad. It's like I was lucked out because Sue got the mini as well, and the one
Yeah.
she got was the fine medium.
Oh, okay.
And I said, and I had one in my hand, and I said, well, I'm getting this because it's the hard broad, So yeah, I looked out.
Yeah,
Claire, I've often
this
said you're a hard broad.
this was this is a hard medium, and I adore it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in my Fall the Mermaid, I have a normal broad, and I do not love it as much.
What does the hardness do to the feedback? Does it minimize
This
it? Does it
feels
accentuate it?
this feels very much like a mechanical pencil.
Oh,
which I like because the mechanical pencil is what I sketch with,
Mm-hmm.
and always has been. I'll bring it with me to Chicago. You can try it.
I'd love to. Thank you.
It's
Yep.
the Fountain Pen Hospital Blue Moon limited edition one. It's very
That
pretty.
is stunning.
Mhm.
Oh, and I love the silver furniture.
Me too.
Love it.
Mhm. It's beautiful.
Apparently, Francisco says it's not part of your pen show budget if you buy a pen before the show. Then where is this mythical money I spent on this pen coming from?
Well, if you know, see, like you're going to get them before the pen show because you're using your Atlas dollars, so
Mhm.
that doesn't really count.
But
Doesn't
but
count.
not for the pen that you picked up for me.
Oh no, Peter said that was a gift. So you can take that money and you can. It's like I said, I picked this up for Alexandra, and he said it's cool, just give it to her. Hey, it was within the budget as a gift. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Okay, it was in the budget as
Okay.
a gift. Okay, so don't.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We'll discuss later. I'm having such a fabulous time with our monthly meetings here that it's cool. It's cool.
Somebody is on the hunt for royal blue.
That's semi-permanent water
Semi-permanent.
resistant.
I really like. Let me look it up. It might be darker than what you're looking for.
Does
anybody else have any suggestions?
I don't use water. There's not many selections with waterproof inks, I think, or water resistant inks. And brighter colors. I think they're all like a lot of darker ones, but I do like. How do I get on Peter's gift list?
That's my question.
I know. Well, I do have some Octopus.
Ladies, let's form a fan club, a Peter fan club, and
yeah. Oh, Peter's coming to Baltimore. You can see him there, Tori.
oh yay!
Is Peter coming to Chicago?
No, he's not doing Chicago. It's limited on him. I'm going, and it's going to be a quick Chicago trip too. I'll be there working for Tasha.
Okay.
I'll be there
That's
working
good.
for Tasha. And
what day do you arrive?
Thursday,
Okay.
and then I leave on Sunday, and then I come home and I'm having hand surgery.
This is what I was looking for. I found it. Atlas sells it. Sailor makes 2 waterproof blue inks. There's number 1. Both are great. I like the Sailor waterproof black. The second one, though, might be darker than what you want. But both are fun.
I mean, some of the Mont Blanc inks are quite lovely. They're just not semi-permanent, like the permanent blue. Is a little bit too dark.
Yeah, the issue with the Mont Blanc permanent inks right now is that they're eating away at nibs.
Yeah, so that even Mont Blanc will tell you. But I have to tell you, I have a friend of mine that does his own little concoction, and because he's a doctor and he wants everything, it has to be permanent, and he makes his concoction. He's been using it for years with percentages of the permanent black and permanent blue. So he has he makes his own blue black. He's been using their permanent for years and never has had an issue with any of his nibs. But he uses them up so fast that he's always going through and cleaning the nibs. So if you're gonna leave ink sitting in a pen for a long period of time, you eventually may have an issue. If you're using a pen constantly and it's not drying up in the pen, it should be okay. The secondary market for, say, previously loved pens, my only pet peeve with some of these people reselling their used pens is that they don't clean them out.
Yes.
That drives me insane.
I believe that also drives Peter insane. There was quite a dramatic Peter rant in the comments a couple episodes ago about a pen he had received
in the mail, and you go to open up the package and there's ink all over the place. you know, so, yeah. But even at the pen show, I was in my hotel room that night because I went to go look at the pen afterwards. And I could have looked at it. It was a pen that Peter wanted, and it was a great deal and everything. So I bought it. And then I'm back at the room that night, and I'm like, couldn't he clean the pen? If you're gonna be there, if you're a seller and you're selling your pens, clean them. I think it would make, yes, I got a great deal on the pen because it wasn't cleaned, but I think that it goes a long way to have a clean pen versus a dirty pen, and especially when you're at a show and you actually can see the pen.
Yeah.
Versus buying a used pen on eBay or Katawiki or any one of those auction sites.
Yeah, like this wasn't clean when I purchased it, but I also bought it from I bought it on consignment from somebody who had quite the extensive pen collection, but had also been diagnosed with Parkinson's and was suddenly offloading his pen collection. In that case, I'm not going to, and I got a great deal on it, I'm not going to be super picky about the pen being clean. They've got other stuff going on.
Right.
It's easy enough for me to clean a pen. Mom, in another disastrous pen video recently, Mom got a celluloid pen. She saw it at Scriptus. We bought it after Scriptus. It was a vintage J.C. Penney celluloid fountain pen. And it looked like it was clean and was not. Took so much flushing, took a brush, like we had to shim it. Like it was such a mess to get working. Mom loves it because it's a J.C. Penney fountain pen, but
like J.C. Penney in the department store, J.C. Penney?
Yeah.
I
Wow.
didn't realize they made fountain pens.
Neither did we.
Like what era was it from?
The seller was pretty sure it was between 1950 and 1970.
I would think the 50s or 60s, yeah, for something like that.
And it's I've got a video up on it. It's the red, sort of like triangular celluloid with the black background. It's really cute. It's really pretty, but it was such a pain to get working. And it was like one of those things that I like, it looked clean and it just wasn't clean.
Yeah.
Do you have a supersonic cleaner?
I do not.
So I am a huge fan of those. They're $20 on Amazon. I don't put any like flush or any fluid in them, just good old H2O. And it really gets the stuck stuff off.
Are they? Oh, so I've heard mixed reviews for using them with vintage pens. And
You can't put celluloid in one of those.
Yeah.
You can't?
You can't. No, you shouldn't soak.
Because celluloid can't get wet.
Yeah, you shouldn't soak.
Well,
You
how the hell
can
do
you
you
can
clean it
rinse.
then?
You can rinse it. It's fine, but don't let it soak.
Yeah.
You cannot let not unless if you can remove the nib
for like a minute.
then you're fine.
No. You just sort of rest your hand on top of a cup while you're holding the pen and just sit there for a very long time. Apparently, Francisco enjoyed the video. The pen will be coming with us to Chicago. I do not trust. Mom does all my nib work because I am not. My hands are not still enough to do nib work. Mom's nib skills have been taught to her by Kari, who is
awesome.
Excellent at teaching the basics. But that is the extent of Mom's nib work skills. And so I think the pen needs a little bit of TLC from an actual nib person.
Yeah, probably. I actually already figuring out which pens I'm taking. Like every pen show, doesn't matter if I need nib work or not. I book my appointment with Kirk way ahead of time because I'll always buy a pen at a show, right?
I already have my Kirk appointment. I have this running list of nib work. Like anytime I think of something that I want, I put it on a list. And then the closer we get to a show, I start to like cull it down to like what is still in my head as something that I want. So I know I've recently got a in the Canadian Fountain Pen group, actually, somebody was selling their broad Decimo nib, which is what I wanted for my Decimo. So now I've got a medium Decimo nib, which I hate. So this is coming with me. Something's happening with it. Do I know what? No. But something. And I've already got a Kirk appointment because I want a fine architect nib. I've seen people write with them. I love a mini stub. I love an architect. I really want a fine architect for my collection. Do I know what else I want? No, but I've got like 20 things on a list, and I'm sure that, you know, a couple things will come with me to Chicago.
Hey, Tori, do you remember one time
Yeah.
Kirk is yes, I know he's coming to Paper Mouse. I was going to go, but I realized I'm going to be in New York that same weekend. He's at Paper Mouse.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
going back.
Yeah, I think your lovely husband's correct. That
Yes.
if celluloid wasn't such a pain in the ass, none of us would be interested in it.
Right.
This is why I'm afraid of vintage pens, guys.
Yeah.
What, you can't get it freaking wet? What is it's the wicked
You
witch of the
can.
woods?
You
Like,
can.
You just
okay.
It's
So
too high
here's a
maintenance. I need
celluloid.
to be able to wash a pen.
No, you can wash a pen, and
You
flush
can.
it
You just
back
can't
and
let
forth.
it.
That's what scares
Don't
me.
let
Is
it
that
sit.
they all have their own little like special little magical requirements. Like,
Yeah,
if
you
something
can't
wrong
let
with
it
that one
sit.
in water, it'll dissolve. Oh, don't put an ink in that one. You can only put it in the ink that is made in Tibet.
Well, if you
by
listen
the
to Mont Blanc, you only
woods.
should be putting Mont Blanc inks in your pens. But who listens to Mont Blanc?
Who listens to it, right?
Right. There's something about the smell of celluloid, though. This is fresh, so I'm still giving the camper
I
sound.
also think it's the
Camper.
appeal of danger.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
we collect something that is known to catch on fire and explode.
But no, what you do is
There-
basically you kind of flush it, run it underwater, flush it, run it underwater, but don't let it sit in water.
Yeah.
And you dry it off right away. It's not going to disintegrate. It's just not something. But if you can remove the nib unit, you know, some of them are easy. Just unscrew the nib and then put the nib in the sonic cleaner. You're fine. Yeah. So anyway, what are you laughing about? Don't let Tori.
Suggesting don't let me borrow pens.
Okay, so Tori, do you remember you showed one of your pens and I commented and you said it
You
was
also can't leave it in a hot car.
Oh Christ! I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay. Here's the thing. Once you're past the first 90 seconds on YouTube, you can swear.
Oh,
It's the first 9 YouTube. They make the decision that like once you're past the first 90 seconds, so few people are watching that advertisers won't care if people swear or not. And so once you make it past 90 seconds, it doesn't matter.
Beautiful.
And plus the fact we put on these not for kids.
Oh.
Yes, we do.
Not for kids.
All of these are marked not for kids. And yeah. So far the only thing that's been flagged is my videos are banned in Russia. So
because of music?
No. Sometimes because of music, and sometimes like a couple of my live streams got banned in Russia, a couple of the Christmas card live streams. So
whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
That's Russia, you know.
Exactly.
I got one of my videos got banned in Russia because I used a Cyndi Lauper song, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." So hey, and whatever it was, who cares? No,
Peter
and
likes Peter likes the definition, or yeah, it's the fact that it's, you know, we like it because it's dangerous. It's like
I think we're getting a peek into Peter's psyche here.
Small little bits of danger.
Yeah, we all do like that a little bit. Okay, so now let's go back to Tori. We're gonna get back onto because you know there was a clean grind that you did on a Coke Spirit pen. What,
Peter? And now we're banned in Russia for this one too.
Yes.
An international incident now.
Hey, you know what?
I love being in controversy on a Monday morning.
Yeah, we can. All
Great
do
way
that,
to start the month.
Absolutely.
Tori, what do you bring? Well, yeah, there was a pen grind that you did on a you put a video, on Instagram, and I commented on it, and I said, "Oh my God, I just love that pen. I love the grind on it and everything." And now I can't remember what it was, and I'm going to have to go like really go back and look and look and look. But it was a fun grind, something that you love. One of his your specific favorite grind of his.
My specific favorite grind of his is the Tonto.
I love, yeah,
I
Okay.
absolutely love the Tonto. I also really love his Waverly.
yeah. I love the Waverly.
Love his
Peter's
Waverly.
comment's been deleted.
It was. What do you mean?
Really? Oh no, it's still there.
It's still there.
Is it still there? Because I can't see it from YouTube's dashboard.
Oh no, it's on the comment here.
I
Oh,
can't see it on I can't see it on dashboard.
Okay, that's funny.
Well,
So
that's what
YouTube
that
already
is.
deleted it? That's funny.
That's funny.
That's
Oh my God. Okay, confirmed. YouTube has deleted it.
yeah,
Well, that's getting a picture for Instagram.
yeah.
I feel like you need to
That's
put that
funny.
in your bio now. Like, sponsored
Oh
by
my God,
YouTube.
YouTube deleted it. That's
of-
funny. Peter, you like to cause problems.
I do enjoy getting flagged by the censors at 11:30 in the morning.
Right?
On a
You
Monday.
invited me for coffee and pens, not to
Explain the
offensive
Tonto grind,
treason. What are we-
people. The Tonto
Yeah,
grind is
explain what?
right.
What is the Tonto grind?
What is the Tonto grind? So the
Pen,
Tonto,
yeah.
which grind is the Tonto? Sure. So do I have one handy? You know what? Let's see if I have one handy. The Tonto grind, a Tonto is a knife blade. So the Tonto is kind of his take on that shape of the tip of a Tonto knife blade. So kind of similar to the Naginata. And I have, how do you guys keep track of your grinds? Like I cleaned all my nibs and now it's just a freaking
Oh, let me.
disaster.
I'm going to show you. I'll go get mine so you can see what I did.
Okay.
This is how I keep track
Yeah,
of my nibs.
Oh, she keeps-
Labeled vials.
That's freaking genius. That's so smart.
And then anything that's a specialty grind has all the details on the top.
You're so smart. Can I be you when I grow up? Okay.
Oh,
this
and Julia's got a great video on how she does hers.
is
I
really
do really like how Julia has hers done. For me though, I have very few specialty ground nibs that aren't in pens. And so for me, this is mostly spare nib storage. And so I just needed a way to keep all my spare nibs organized.
Yeah, I have them in here with what they are. And because I do so many of them, Kurt has his own special drawer.
That's funny.
So yeah, because every pen show I have to get the pen show nib too, because yeah, do that and then so that's the way in here, because these are great. Chicago 2024 Spear double broad. So
That's really
till
smart.
I figure out what I'm going to do with them.
All right, you guys
According
are
to Mom,
inspiring
if you go to the playback, you can still see Peter's comment.
Yeah, it's there. Not on Shipyard. It's here, but not on the.
No, but because I highlighted it on the screen, it'll still be part of the stream. And Mom's gone back to check.
Oh, good, Mom. So what are you going to have new? Can you show us anything that you're going to have new for Baltimore? Or do you want people to wait?
You
till
don't
they get
have
Baltimore?
to.
I'm gonna hold off on that just because
Okay.
I've been experiencing some shipping delays.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't want to promise anything that might not be there, but I know for sure we will be having new things at Chicago Stationery Fest. We're going to be having, like I mentioned, the collaboration line with Penrealm, and we are also going to be having a collab with Heinz Pens. We are doing a special Taschenstift that we're bringing to Stationery Fest, and they are going to be so beautiful and have a very fun nib on them. So more to
Oh,
come.
I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be very cool. So
On the note of nib storage, that's a cool idea.
Oh, interesting. I have engraved wood.
Well, yeah, and then which is interesting too. Do I have it here? I haven't labeled it yet, but that's fine. A friend of mine designed a. It's going to be hard to see, but these are Sakura leaves that Kirk did on the nibs. you know, the cherry blossoms. And
Cherry
it's just
blossoms.
so beautiful. But they're just regular, they're not, you know, just, I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah,
Mm.
those
So
are pretty.
they're very pretty. And so I have a few of these. I just have to label. I just picked them up when I was in LA. So, yeah, so I have to label these now.
Yeah.
And what else? So
I
another
have
thing
no
we were going to
memory.
talk, another thing that we were going to talk about are papers, different papers, journals. And I've been playing around, and this one's Wendy Sue's fault. I got the onion skin journal. Oh my God. It's so fun to write on. I like the crinkliness of it, you know. So I've just been in love with it's all Wendy's fault. Thank you, Wendy. I got a few. But it's so nice to, you know, when you write and stuff and you just get that like crinkly,
Mm.
you know? And what's interesting, because I do put the board behind underneath, you know, because you can transparent, it's the lines on one side and grid spots on the other. And they don't, it holds up pretty well to fountain pen ink. Even when I do like heavy swatching on them, it doesn't bleed through. But you cannot write on the other side, of course, because it's see-through. That's fine. I don't have a, you know, that's fine. But I just love the way you can have fun, and I just like listening to the crinkles, you know? It's kind of fun. So this is like my favorite new journal. And then,
What's
of
the
course,
dry time on it?
That was going to be my question.
What's the dry time on it?
it's really not bad at all. It's pretty quick.
Okay.
It's very quick. It's very quick. I was just having some fun writing, whether writing with them. And then I just got this other one, Tomoe River paper from Corsani in Italy. They did a collab, and look at the journals are beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And it's a collab with Stilograph Corsani. And, you know, I was just having some fun. I was doing some swatching. I got this idea from Missy_note on Instagram, and I just like the way she does some of her swatching. And, you know, whenever I see somebody else's work and I said, oh, let me try that, I give them credit because this wasn't my idea. So I always give them credit and, you know, say thank you for the inspiration. And I think it's nice that, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, I thought it up when I didn't. But yeah, so this paper is quite lovely. And I just did, you know, I was just having some fun with it. And then I did get a new pen in. And so I posted it. But, you know, it's like kind of just having some fun. And this is the Tomoe River 52 GSM paper, which kind of has that it kind of crinkles when you put a lot on there.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it's fun paper. So just having fun with this one. Hobonichi. I don't know what they did with their paper this year, but I'm just having a hard time even with my planner. And I'm so disappointed in the paper that I'm just using something else. It's, you know, I'm using a fine nib or a medium nib on it, and it bleeds through and to the other side, so it makes the other side just terrible.
Yeah.
How's
I really wanted I'm a plotter girl too, but I missed the boat on getting the calendar insert for it, and then they released in 2 sizes, but not the size I need.
What size did you?
Whoa.
I know, right? I need the Bible size.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
did, I think A5 and mini maybe.
Okay.
So if anyone has a spare Bible, holler at me.
I wish I had known. I would have looked for you at because they were in LA,
Oh,
the California Pen Show.
Yeah.
Are they going to be at Chicago? They're going to be at Stationery Fest in Chicago?
Good question. I'm not sure. I should check.
I
I don't think they re-released it, though. Or I don't know if they
Uh,
re-released that size, but-
Corolla, in her video, she said they were coming to some event in Chicago, but I can't remember which one they were coming to.
I hope so, because I have such a hankering for the corners, the metal corners to be put on mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I've clearly, I like Travelers. Which way do I have to lean?
mm,
I've never
Yeah,
been a plotter person,
Mhm.
partially because I think they're harder to get here.
mm.
Oh, sure.
I now have, I'm up to 4 Travelers.
Travelers
yeah,
are
I love
great.
those
I was
too,
so
but yeah.
upset. Not upset. I was so bummed because we go all the way to LA, and I wanted to go to, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll pronounce it wrong, but there's a store there, Boom Cushion, that you can customize your travelers with stuff on there. Like if you have a plain travelers and they do customization. I wanted to go to the store to get inspired, but the store is only open on Sundays because they're so busy. They're so busy with filling orders that they only open to the public one day a week. And you can't get it done while you're there, but you can get inspired and order. But I was kind of bummed about that, so.
So in the comments, Nurin has asked, how's the Yamamoto bank paper for crinkliness? I actually have some here, so let's
Ooh.
find out.
Doesn't sound very crinkly.
No.
Not super crinkly. It's extraordinary paper, though. I love it. There's my work to-do list, but it's a beautiful paper. I think it hits the sweet spot of not too coated, but not too uncoated.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Apparently the corners are very visually satisfying
Jesus, that was loud.
on the plotter when you add them.
Mm-hmm. And I was so grateful. 2 years ago, Chicago plotter brought a turquoise one, and you had to sign up for a spot, and I did, and I got the last turquoise one. And I have been being too precious with it. It also has my initial on it.
Ah.
And I was only using it for pen things, and I had it in a drawer. I was being very precious with it, but I finally decided, nay, nope, it's gotta get out in the universe. You gotta use it. Things are made to be used. So I am, but I really do want the corners on it now. So hopefully
That's fair.
Chicago or another show.
So talking about paper, I am doing something currently that I can't really talk about, but people will discover it in a couple weeks. And discovered that I had 8 papers in the studio, which seemed like a lot. Like eight totally different papers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
And then I swatched the same ink on all 8 of them.
That's a good comparison, though. That's a good comparison.
Which reminded me that, like, I do really hate Tomoe River paper. So I will be bringing my pack of not old Tomoe River paper, but older than the screwed up batch of Tomoe River paper.
Mm-hmm.
It is from a year ago, so it's not screwed up. To Chicago with me, and one or a couple of my friends who like it will be going home with it because I'm done. I do not like it.
Somewhere I have a notebook that I put together. It's like a ring. I love either the binders or the ring notebooks that you can like put paper in and out of. And I made like a pen testing notebook that had like 6 different of the kinds of paper that I like the best. And then when I'm going around playing with different pens, that way you can try it on the different papers that you actually like.
Yeah, I really like the Endless Regalia paper.
That one I find sometimes, depending on the ink and stuff, I get some feathering. I do have a lot of the Yamamoto papers, and I actually got one of the little holders at, which is great. It's like one of these with
That's
different.
so cute.
It is very cute. So I have with the bank paper I've written on, and this one is like 48.2 GSM, and it has a bunch of other ones in here. So I haven't really been able to test them yet. So that's my next I just got those, so those will be my next thing, but yeah. And Peter was saying, and with Stefano from Corsani, he was able to source the original Tomo paper. So,
Ooh.
which is quite these are nice. And he had an artist, a Japanese artist that did a lot of the covers. I have a few different ones. So now, we got them, we just got these in. So I'm just happy about that. Lloydstrom notebooks. I have a hard time with some of my,
I like the paper. I'm realizing I didn't include it in this. The paper you brought back from Italy.
oh, yeah. That's
That
a
was
really
for
nice, that's
Christmas.
Forensi paper.
Yeah, I really like that. I haven't started on the big notebook, but I've been using like the little notepad.
Yeah, little notepad's great. Hey, good morning, Mark from Coles of London. Ooh, speaking of which, I got to talk to him about a pen.
I found my notebook.
I do too, because I'm hoping that he'll bring something to Chicago that I can't afford to buy just because I want to see it in person. Because I know I'm not going to be able to see it up here. I know that no one up here is going to stock it.
Which pen?
Yeah, what is it?
The chessboard.
Oh, they'll have it in Chicago.
Okay.
Well, they did have it in LA, and they'll probably have it in Boston. Yeah, the chessboard's it's cool. I got to see them make it when I was at Visconti.
I
They were
know.
in the process of doing the pieces and stuff, so it was kind of cool to see.
I love their watercolor paper. I've never tried their other papers, but I love their watercolor paper.
Never heard of
Yeah.
Fabiano
What's
paper.
it like? Is it coated, uncoated?
So, no idea about the fountain pen paper,
Mhm.
but they make a lovely 100% cotton watercolor paper
Mm.
and a 25% cotton paper. That is what I used in my Atlas class.
Do you
Because
like
it
Crown
worked.
Mill then? With that's real cottony, like that sort of.
Not really. So because I also don't like arch paper. I find it's just, or especially for painting on it, like it just, actually their early COVID stuff was okay. Their most recent stuff, the sizing's been off and it's just not enjoyable to paint on. But I do like the Fabriano stuff, so I'll be interested to try their other papers. Welcome to this weird world where we all pay a lot of money for writing instruments.
Welcome to the rabbit hole. There's room for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everybody's welcome.
I was going to call it a really fun cult, and then thought that might scare them.
We've already been banned by YouTube once today. Do we have to go for twice?
No, we weren't banned. Just one of the comments were deleted.
I'm sorry.
Peter's comment was
censored.
deleted.
Just censored.
Just censored. Peter, his favorite paper, because he just put it up, is Claire Fontaine, which I'm surprised he spelled Claire Fontaine.
It's right.
It's a great everyday note-taking paper. It
comes up in 20 questions all the time. I always look at adding it to my cart at Atlas or Goldspot, and I never do.
Yeah,
I swatch my inks on it because I feel like it's neutral. Like it doesn't, like if you swatch on 8 different papers, I feel like Claire Fontaine's kind of in the middle of all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I never really have any problem with feathering, bleeding, not unless you like really saturate something, but if you're laying down, if you're swatching heavily, or just doing an inky mess, which I kind of like doing inky messes because I get to use up some of the inks there's some inks that we get in and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really like it, but then I'll just use it and throw it on and make an inky mess. And it's like, okay, maybe I do like it as an inky mess.
Yeah, paper I really dislike, and this is kind of a hot take, is Rhodia. I like Rhodia.
Ooh.
Isn't that weird?
So I thought I liked Rhodia, and then I did this.
And now you don't like it anymore?
This one's Rhodia. and I think it is the second most boring swatch on this page. Which way does
What's
this
the
one?
most boring?
This one.
Which is
It is the Pilot notepad that I use in, like when I'm just trying to get a pen to work.
mm,
Like if I've inked it up and I'm just like scribbling with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are the two most boring papers.
Now, is that the same ink on all those paper, all different
It
papers?
is all diamine ancient copper.
And it's amazing how, it is amazing how different papers,
Mm-hmm.
the ink looks so different. on
And
different papers.
honestly, I'm not a huge fan of sheen. So I do like it on the Muji paper, which is the
Mhm.
Muji Japan paper, because you've got some shading to it, even in the writing.
Mhm.
But
Too bad because I threw it away. I was
it's
like, I have the everyday pad from,
Ah.
Kale and Leather.
yeah.
And I went and swatched Waterman's Tender Purple.
I love
Mm.
And on here, and this is Tomo paper, it's 52 GSM.
Is it new or old?
I don't know, but on here, it was showed green sheen on the Waterman's Tender Purple. On this paper, which is Tomoe River paper, and I did this type of swatching. It depends on how heavy it is. Maybe just a slight bit, but not really.
Yeah.
And this is Tomo paper, Tomoe River, right? And it's just, I don't know why it would be so I mean, like, it really sheened on this one, but not on this one. This is old Tomoe River paper, maybe. I just don't know.
Yeah. So in the watercolor world, stuff like that depends on paper sizing, which is what a paper is coated with. And so I don't know how much of an effect that has with inks. But I do know that's a big deal in the watercolor world, because like a badly sized paper will not take watercolor in the same way. You'll get weird spotting. And so I have to assume that some of the stuff
I
is-
think I'm having some issues. Uh-oh. Hello?
We're still here. Are you
we're
here?
still here.
Did we just,
Oh, are you
okay.
back?
Can you hear me?
We can.
I'm back. Okay, you can see me and hear me. I don't know what happened. We all kind of went squirrely. Interesting.
And so I have a feeling like some of the stuff, because other people are saying like there's an issue with Rhodia recently. I have a feeling that probably has to do with paper sizing. It's what a paper is coated with. It's been a big issue in the watercolor world recently, because companies do not have to declare what their paper is sized with. And changes have been made recently, at least in the watercolor world. And so you're seeing that ripple down effect as things become less available.
Right.
Apparently, the paper that Francisco brought up, the Fabriano, is a hybrid of Leuchtturm and Rhodia in feel.
It's always kind of good to know.
Yeah, he agrees that Rhodia is very vanilla. Functional, it works.
Like if you're gonna, like, for casual note taking, if you have a pad of it, if you're not gonna do anything like creatively, I mean, if you use up the rodeo that way, like creative
Yeah.
note, just regular note taking, everyday note taking. Peter sometimes, it's so funny because he has some cheap paper. And sometimes he'll use the cheap paper line, just regular line pad from Staples. And he uses it sometimes if he's using, like, he has a favorite pen of his that he has his favorite shimmer ink in it. And it shows up the shimmer like unbelievable. He says on this cheap paper, it works the best.
Yeah. Today's 20 questions episode with Rob's Penworks, his favorite paper is 32-pound HP premium copy paper. It is his go-to paper. It is the paper he uses all the time.
The paper of the people.
paper, and that was my thought. It's like we so often we talk about really expensive papers, but I've had guests on 20 questions that are pen vendors that have admitted to using fountain pens on napkins. Like
Oh,
we,
the fuzz,
yeah,
the
but
filament.
I think sometimes we stress over papers having to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and really you just need to be able to write, and for what you write to be legible. And if for your budget that is HP paper and you enjoy writing on it and it works for you, great. If you like really expensive paper and you can afford to use it for all your notes, great. But don't spend money on really expensive paper when you can't afford to spend money on really expensive paper, when there are other papers out there that do work for fountain pens.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. No. There's no right or wrong in the paper world. It's just what works for you.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, so I do believe in that. The one paper I could tell you that I'm not a big fan of is the field notes, because they don't really work well with fountain
Yeah.
pen.
No,
That's terrible.
no. I don't like field notes. I'm not a big fan of Tomoe River just because of how long it takes to dry. I smudge my page too often. But other than that, I use my fountain pens on sticky notes on a daily basis.
Post-it note paper, surprisingly fountain pen friendly.
But
the
it has
real
to be
Post-it brand.
Post-it brand.
Correct. Yes, I have tested this.
If you use non-Post-it brand Post-it notes, they run, and if you try and write on the section that the sticky label's at, it'll just totally feather out.
Yep.
If you use Post-it note ones, you're fine. You're good to go. Because we have both cheap Post-it notes and good Post-it notes in the house right now, and I have to be very careful about the pad I grab.
Oh, totally. So when when I first started my my line of cards, my fountain pen friendly cards, I thought I would have an embarrassment of papers to choose from, and so I had papers from about, I think, 14 different print vendors. Had a bunch of my pen friends over, some wine, and I had them bring their fountain pens, ballpoint, roller balls, Sakura gels, sparkly things, and I was very surprised at the amount of really high-end paper that just sucked with fountain pens.
Oh yeah.
Or that it would be great with fountain pens, but then you couldn't write on it with a gel pen or whatever. So it's the world of paper is mind-boggling to me.
No, I love the card blanks I use currently because they do work for fountain pens.
Yeah.
They work because they're high quality cardstock. They work for everything quite well, as long as you're not using a Sharpie.
What happens if you use a Sharpie?
It bleeds through.
Oh.
It's not thick enough to handle the alcohol ink.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they work for just about everything. They're great. Apparently not all field notes are created equally.
Interesting.
Which also would really bug me, I have to say. If I picked up a notebook and I didn't know if it would bleed or not, there's no way to know beforehand.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, no.
Mm-mm.
No, because
no.
Someone
And then
mentioned,
uses
I
a
don't know how to pronounce it, numase, Monomino.
Oh, this is
There we
really
go.
cool.
I love that stuff. I just don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it either. I heard about this for the first time at the Atlas Sidewalk sale last year. I believe it's Gary from Pelican. This is his favorite paper. He was the person that introduced me to it. It's so cool.
It's very nice paper. I have it in a big one, I can use for drawing or whatever, and it's pretty cool.
I don't own any yet because I can only does it only come in lined, or does it come in things other than lined? Because I can only find it lined.
I have plain.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a big sheet of plain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't bought it because I can only find lined, and I hate lined paper.
Nemazine. I think the M is Nemazine.
Yeah.
By Marmon.
I also love, have you guys tried Tsubame Fools?
No.
TSUA?
No.
Oh, I love that. I'll bring some for you guys to try. It's another one of my favorites. It's like,
You
I
know
like
what the best part of
Chicago's
the
just becoming, I will bring X for you to try.
oh,
Yeah.
It is
I'm in
now,
the comments. You're on your own, but come
Yeah.
find us at the show. We'll bring the papers.
NEMOs.
we will be
Nemos
camped out
Sony.
somewhere playing with pens.
Yeah.
That's the best part of
All,
going
all
to
the
pet
all the
show.
booths that we should be at can find us at a later date.
Yeah.
We will be in a corner somewhere playing with pens.
There's a call
That's
that
the
is
best
used to
part of
summon me
going to the
back if
pen
I
show
wandered. So you guys might
is,
be doing those too.
hanging out afterwards. You know, that's the
Oh,
best
Night
part.
with Shannon.
Shannon's gonna have a craft for us one night.
Oh, I like that. I think that's cool.
I've
But yeah,
just
we hang out at the bar afterwards. That's the best part. We all man over whatever tables we can get and, pull out the pens and,
yeah. It'll be
Chicago
fun.
this year's a
Bob
new
Slacks
hotel.
is great. I went to Bob's Slats when I was in Boston the last time, and I spied with my little eye in the corner some Mont Blanc corn poppy red cartridges, and I said, "Yes, score mine." And I bought them all. I think he had 7 boxes.
Ron has a very handy pronunciation guide for us.
Yeah, Namazozina.
Sony.
Namazone.
Sony.
Cool. Sony. Wendy, you could come to Chicago.
You could come to Chicago.
You could come to Chicago and we could all do the craft there.
Yep.
You could just come.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
That's fair.
That's fair. So I do pen shows on cash
Mm-hmm.
or a set budget. Otherwise, it can get very dangerous very fast.
We're supposed to be on a no buy right now
How's that
because,
going for you?
but not.
Not?
That's because I just had an opportunity to purchase another pen before the prices went up, and I did. So Peter's like, "Yes, we'll get it, but then that means we can't buy pens at the pen show." And I'm like, "But then now it's like, well, if it's something that we've been searching for a while, like in a previously loved pen,
Mhm.
then that's a possibility."
Oh, you've
And
always
inks
gotta
don't
have that
count,
running
stationery
list.
doesn't
Yeah.
count. What?
You always have to have the running list, no matter budget agnostic. If you see this pen at
Yeah.
a good price in a pre-loved or if it's been discontinued, if you spot it, you get it. And it does not matter if it is not your show budget because these are the pens that defy budget.
Exactly.
Okay. So now I need to know what is on that list for you, Tori, because
I'll show you.
you'll show me.
Well,
Great.
I actually have the list. I'll read it.
You have
for
the
you.
list.
I have the list. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right. Well, now I'm pulling up my list because this seems like a good topic for us to discuss.
Yes, I have a list. I have it here. I should write it down because I am old and I'm
All right, here we
forgetting
go.
these things later. Go ahead.
First up is Scribo Feels the Arrivederci Le Stelle, which is
Okay.
their night skyish looking one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also quite keen for a Sailor Pro Gear Shooting Star of Januma. It's got like my Tori tealish blue, but then it has like a sort of white shimmery top. Lovely. Also looking for a Mont Blanc Le Petit Prince Legrand fountain pen in the fox resin. One of those.
That's
Right away.
Yep. Peter wants the one with the brown leather.
Yeah, that one's nice too. Oh, yeah.
Hard to find.
I also have my out for this one's just a Kilk, a Celine Celestial. Those went like that. So always have an eye out for those. A reasonably priced, Nakaya Ama Euro, but we'll see about that. That would have to be very. Anyways, a Sailor Fresco King of Pens that was in North America only, but I have the 1911, but I want the King of Pens in there.
Okay.
And then Pilot Bungu Box, they did a sparkly sapphire, a Heritage 91. Am I out for one of those? I keep going, but it's probably getting boring. So those are the ones that are insta buys. Like if I see them, I buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. It's a good list.
Thank you. What's on your guys's?
Go ahead, Alexander.
Mont Blanc Bohème.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I said I wasn't going to get a Mont Blanc until I got the Bohème. and then I was
Which
offered the
color?
146. I don't know that I'm picky about color.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that like sometimes I'm picky about colors. Sailors, I'm very picky about colors.
Same.
But most of the Mont Blanc Bohèmes are sort of little black dress pens.
Those are the ones with the little like jewel on the clip.
Yeah,
right?
and they've
Yeah,
got
they're, I
retractable
have,
nib.
they're in the other room.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really kind of cool. I have a couple. I have, yeah.
You could give one to Alexander.
Yeah. So, well, it was so I had seen them. I'd seen Hemingway's in videos, and then Claire's last year at Chicago was the first time I actually got to hold one and use one. And that like made me fall in love with them even more. Like they were already on my list, and then I went, oh, I actually really need this. And I said I wasn't getting a Mont Blanc until I got a Bohème, and then I was offered the 146, and so I got the 146 instead. But a reason, like, I'm okay with it being scratched and stuff. Like, I don't care if it's loved. Like, my current one has some scratches and stuff. Like, that doesn't matter to me.
You can just get some stuff and just polish them, and
yeah, exactly.
they're fine. You know,
Yeah, I prefer that pens be used rather than just sit in a drawer. A Esterbrook lilac with gold trim, or an Esterbrook blueberry with gold trim. The whole gold trim is very important because I am limiting my SD collection to gold trim because I feel like otherwise it can get very out of control very quickly. And so I picked a trim color / it was chosen for me by winning the Golden Gratitude, and it went gold trim. And so now all my SDs have to have gold trim. And that means that there are only certain SDs I can actually add to my collection.
I feel like most SDs are gold trim. The silver are unusual.
Yeah, so some of the special editions have silver. But they are doing a lot more gold trim these days. But like limiting to a single trim color sort of helps to make the list slightly smaller.
Yeah.
But on like my list isn't huge right now. There have been a lot of pens this past year. And I know there are some more pens coming up. And so my list isn't actually huge. There are just like a couple things that like if I found one, I'd be quite happy to have them.
Okay. Francisco wants to know, are there pens that are too valuable that you wouldn't get a grind on? Not well. I would probably get them tuned and smoothed if it's something that is a lot of, if it's too valuable. Like I had Kirk look at, some of my, David Oscarsons, and I would never put a grind on that, on the pen. I would just leave the pen alone because I think if later on, if you were going for resale on something that valuable, you don't want to grind on.
No.
You just leave it, just get it tuned, make sure it's smooth, that's writing properly, and be that it's made. There's some other pens that I had, I custom designed my own Monte Grappa when I was at Monte Grappa.
Wow.
It's this in celluloid. This is the one here.
Don't let me
So yeah, it's like I picked the jewels and stuff. I love the color yellow, and and purpley blue. Like purples and yellows are my favorite, but this was like a blue. So I did that, and I got it in a stub nib, and I had Kirk do a smooth cursive metallic on there. So I purchased that nib, knowing that, I mean, that's fine. So on this, I did do that. On something that's more of a collector's, I wouldn't.
That's what I was gonna say. If it's a collector's pen that has like a specific design on the nib, so you couldn't swap it out, I wouldn't do it on that because
No,
in case one ever wants to resell.
yeah. See, Fountain Pendulum really enjoys the original Omas nibs, Sailor's in-house feedback, so I would be very hesitant to get them ground or smooth. Yeah, I do love the original Omas. Some of the Omas nibs are really nice.
So I was going to say that I had pens that I'd never get worked on. And then I realized that my very first nib work was on a pen that I would now have, I'd never get nib work on it. Like it now would never get nib work on it, but it's because I've already done something to it, which is my grandfather's Schaefer snorkel.
Oh.
Matthew Chen tuned it and got rid of the metal spurs that were on the nib to make it writable.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thought of like getting a grind on this is appalling, but only because it's writable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is what I was saying, that you want to
Yeah.
make sure that it writes,
Yeah,
get it smooth, get it tuned, but don't put a specific grind on it.
yeah. So I think there are very few things in my collection that I wouldn't get tuned.
Mm-hmm.
But there are lots of things, like unless something has an interchangeable nib, I'm probably not getting a grind, because I don't really enjoy being stuck to one grind. Like my Sailor Follow the Mermaid is away right now because I'm not, now that I've got a different Sailor, so the medium hard, I realize that I don't enjoy the experience of the broad all that much.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't put down as much ink as some of my other broads. It's not as fun of a writing experience. So I sort of need to figure out what I'm going to get done to that nib, because I do really like the pen. I just don't like the nib.
Is it a hard broad?
No, it's just a broad.
Oh, so it's a regular broad.
It's a regular Sailor broad. And
Yeah.
I just like,
There's enough tipping material to do something fun with.
there is. And so I just need to figure out what I want to do with it.
That would be a good one for an architect.
Potentially. But like all my other stuff, I do to Coco nibs, because as somebody said, I collect them like they're jelly beans. And I do. I have too many of them. And I have some weird ones. And I have a very expensive custom grind for a Coco nib, which is now in my Arushi Coco pen. But everything else is on size 6 Yovo nibs, because I like to be able to put it in any of my pens. I like to just be able to pop it into whatever I feel like on any given day.
Right. Oh, poor Wendy damaged a very expensive nib that was normally not to have nib work on it, but she had to have Kirk repair it. Yeah.
Did you see Kirk's recent repair job of that? Like,
yeah, that was unbelievable. That nib was like, yeah, it was. Yes, that was. He's the man. I'm telling you. Yeah, so. Yeah, was it so? My wish list, if I see them, I do want the Mont Blanc beetles, not the expensive one. I like the striped colored one.
Yeah.
See, there's two. I also want I would like. I shouldn't say I want. I would like the Egyptomania Douai. It's the different one, Mont Blanc. Peter's looking for the Petite Prince with the leather body on it. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
I think that there was one other pen. See, I didn't write these down. Oh, I'm looking for a vanishing point that is the brighter yellow. I want it in yellow, which is kind of hard to, I'm not sure if it's, I want a yellow one now that I have collecting my own pots. I have the mustard color one, but I want the brighter yellow. And I'm also being, like getting back to the Covecos and stuff. I like the aluminum ones. I did have some of they just came out with a yellow one, but I'm not getting it because I prefer the aluminum bodies for me. So see, I put my cutoff, so I'm not completing a whole rainbow of colors. I like certain brand of Covecos.
Yeah.
So, and then I see the yellow one, and I'm like, no, you only like the yellow ones, but I really like that yellow color. No, yeah. So, and it's
That's
yeah. So I'm trying to be good on a $30 pen. a $40 pen, whatever it is.
Something that you reminded me about as you're listing off those lovely Mont Blanc pens. It's
Yeah.
really unreasonable. I'm never probably ever going to own it. I love the not Around the World in 80 Days, the Lost World pen that was the little dinosaur in the magnifying glass on the clip.
Oh, okay.
The Arthur Conan Doyle one.
Yeah.
I love that pen.
Do you
It
have
is-
any inks that are on the wish list that like insta buy if you find it? That you can't that like not an ink that you're resisting, but like an ink that you have an eye out for. Like for me, it's the Mont Blanc Mocta. I want to say Montezuma.
Montezuma.
That's not it. Is it? It's like Moctezuma or something. But yeah, that's
Montezuma.
heel.
It's spelled
Moctezuma,
really
yeah.
weird.
Felt super weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually like that one. I actually I procured it. And I've used it. It's really nice ink color.
The Mont Blanc Pearl Pink. I found a
Mm.
bottle recently. Actually, I found a bottle at Scriptus.
Oh.
And I didn't get it because I was busy doing other stuff.
Guys, we're offending A. Mousset, who wishes us to say Mont Blanc.
I know. Yeah.
That's asking a lot on a Monday morning, Mousset.
Yeah.
Even when you go to the Mont Blanc store, they pronounce it the American way, and they're all French. So,
Yeah.
you know, French and German
They do
that are
that
work
because
in
they
the
know
store
you're
that I go to.
Yeah.
And I don't
My
offend,
sales
it's just that-
associate's French and pronounces the C at the end. I
Mont Blanc.
really like the Pearl Pink. And I regret not getting a bottle of it at Scriptus because I think I've got all but 2 of my inks from them inked up in pens currently, which is and I've got 8 inks from them. It's proof of how much I love them. So really, next time I see it, I just need to pick it up.
I think do they wish not? Do you wish it was just telling you no, French or not?
We know. We're just.
Oh,
We know it. Well,
like,
no, we know. We
honestly,
understand.
I did. I think we discovered last time I did like 8 years of French. But it's, noon on a Monday. You're gonna get what you get.
I try. I really do try. I have to be honest. I am terrible at pronunciations. I am terrible even in my own native language. No. Okay, in English, yes, my native language. But I grew up in a full Greek household. Everybody spoke Greek except for me, because I cannot. I have problems with learning different languages. I tried. I took 5 years of Greek school. I used to get yelled at all the time because I never could pronounce, and I can't roll my R's. It's just terrible. And so I am honest. I will butcher a name, and I apologize profusely. I'm so sorry. Yes. So actually, your pronunciation is outstanding when you pronounce minus the C, Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc. Trying to not do that, right? But no, with that it's easy. But other things, it's terrible to stand up there in front of the class and you have to read this passage all in Greek, and you're getting yelled at because of the accent mark on something. So the word, believe it or not, the word "and." Okay, it's the word "and," and if you pronounce it one way, it's like flipping the finger. If you pronounce it, because because of where the accent goes. So it's na versus ne. Na is and ne is something else. And I'm like, and I'm getting yelled at all the time in Greek school. So
Now we know how to trigger Claire.
just trigger me off. That's why I just like wear my bracelet. Tori, do you have yours on today?
I don't. I should.
No. Anyway, don't. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, we. But I'm honest, and I always sorry if I screw this up, because even when I do a pen review, I will definitely screw up the name of the pen, but you'll get a nice review out of me.
As Peter said, no one's ever offended when we pay for pens.
No, this you're not distracting from the stream. We just never know what's going to come out of our mouths.
Never do.
We are so unscripted. I love this format, so do never apologize. You know, this is good. This is good. But yeah, no. So we can go off, and then I will remember stuff and pull us back a little bit. So
Yeah.
you know,
And
I
that
was thinking that my confidence with accents increases as it goes from coffee o'clock to wine o'clock. So
Oh,
we should
wine
have
o'clock,
Pens at
yeah.
one-
I
after
would
wine
say my
o'clock, I have
confidence
great
increases.
confidence.
Like mornings at a pen show, very unconfident in most things. By like the time we reach like 3 o'clock, I no longer care. The pictures from last year at Chicago by like mid-afternoon get progressively worse. You've got like a tripod balancing on top of 4 travelers' notebooks, and us all laughing hysterically. How many pens do you keep inked? This is a dangerous question.
Mhm.
Where's my book?
You keep them all tracked in a book. Oh, I admire that. Oh, and yours are all in a tray.
Well, look at that tray. That's a good sized tray. This is what I do. I found this system works for me. When I ink a pen, I do it on the wearing gold cards because it's like a business card. I bought this little thing for business cards, right?
Mm.
When I ink a pen, I put all the information and the ink. So I have probably right now about 40 pens inked. And then if I clean out a pen after a while, I take the card, especially if I like the ink I had in there, but I take the card and I put in the back of the book. That way, because I have the information of the pen that I inked, but see what I had in there before, because chances are I might want to put the same ink back in the pen. But pens are made to be used.
Yeah.
And I like to write with my pens, and I know I have more than 40 pens. So parts of me are like, man, I need to maybe clean out a couple so I can go ink another couple. And I talked to somebody about this, and they said, regardless, Bluetastic, is that her name?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's great. And I said, how many pens do you keep inked? And she keeps a lot inked. But every 2 weeks, she takes a bunch of them and she cleans them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just counted. I have 33 pens inked currently.
Mhm.
One of them's a gel pen. Part of the issue is, or no, it's actually, okay, it's not an issue. I picked up a bunch of pens at the Atlas Sidewalk sale. I inked them all for review back in August. And then I sort of left them on my desk. And apparently some of them seal quite well and still write. And then I've been still receiving pens for review. And so I've still been inking new pens. And so now I'm trying to run as many things dry as Chicago before I can. So we ran, I want to say 3 pens dry this month, but I also got 4 new pens this month. So it's not going particularly well to run things dry before Chicago, but I'm hoping that I'll run at least a couple more dry before Chicago because I know I'm picking up stuff at the show.
I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like slightly overwhelming. Part of the issue though is like, again, not an issue. Like this is where I work. And so I just have a tray next to me and I can grab whatever I want. But if I'm leaving the office, I put my pens in my Galen leather slip and zip, which fits 4. And so the pens that I'm using like day to day when I'm not in the office are not always the same 4 pens.
I am, one of the things I'm buying at Baltimore is not a pen, so it doesn't count. I love I like French cuffed shirts.
Mhm.
doing cufflinks.
So sexy.
And I am buying a pair of cufflinks at the show.
Wait, for yourself or for
For me.
for you?
For me. I have some
Okay.
women, ladies French cuff shirts, and I am buying a pair. That's my gift for myself. And so I'm very excited because I have the David Oscarson Celestial pen, and he has Celestial cufflinks. So my purchase, it's already been set up and everything, and I'll get them at the show. But I'm really excited. So I'm gonna be, I'll wear my French cuff shirt that day that has just the regular plain what comes with the shirt. Then I'll take those out and put the cufflinks. I kind of like that look. I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but I think that's like kind of a cool dressy type look. So that's going to be the gift to myself. My anniversary is in June. My husband never knows what to get, so I told him I want the cufflinks. It will be 41 years, so hey, why not, right?
Congratulations.
Yes, and thank you. So so I'm very excited about getting those. So that's going to be the big, gift, which is kind of fun. Oh yeah, for whom? I love French cuff shirts. I'm buying them from me, Francisco. I like French cuff shirts on a woman. I think that's kind of cool, jewelry for your shirt. So yeah, so that's the only thing I plan. But I'm also working the show, so we'll see what I have time. I'm working for. I'll be going between two tables. I bought a Mont Blanc from a friend, and he gave me a good price on it if I agreed to help him out in Baltimore. So I sold myself out. So I'll be at Rick Leepson's table, and he has a lot of Urushi pens, Nikayas, some beautiful things. So I told him I'd go help him out at his table, and then I'll be between his table and Tasha. So I'll go back and forth and work at both tables. Working at tables I like because it doesn't give me enough time to shop.
I love working a table.
Yeah.
I am very excited for working a table at Chicago as I see if this Chicago list is out yet it's not.
Poor Francisco.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yes. From the hotel? That's terrible.
What, like by the maid or?
That's why everything gets locked in the safe. I even, when I was in LA, we went and we checked into the hotel, but then we were invited to spend the night at Sujan's house, which was kind of interesting. We said, great. So I didn't want to cancel the hotel room for one night because I didn't want to get anything screwed up because they were sold out. So we brought all our stuff there, and we took all our pens and we put them in the safe because I didn't want to travel. We didn't need to take all our pens with us and stuff that we brought. So a lot of stuff went into the safe, and it's always good in the hotel rooms to use the safe.
Yeah. Apparently, the LA show was bad for theft.
Oh my God! Yeah, people getting. I think it's terrible when someone has the nerve to go to a pen show and steal pens off the table.
Well, wasn't it? It was luxury brands that had several years ago all their cases stolen setup day from a pen show.
It's terrible. I have I have a friend of mine that had a pen. Just Tasha had a pen in Philly, and somebody else had a pen at Philly show. People just go by the table and just put it in their pocket.
Yeah, I think I want to say Atlas had 2 pens disappear at Chicago last year. But luxury brands one year had somebody picked up their stack of pen cases and walked away with them on setup day before the show even began. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, how about was it not this past year, in 2023, the San Francisco Pen Show, there was a guy, he was caught and arrested, and they let him out. And the next day he tried to go back to the pen show again after he stole a whole bunch of pens. The nerve.
And that is one of the stressful parts about being behind a table. Like you have to know exactly what you've got in front of you. And there was a moment at Chicago, not at Chicago, at Scriptus, where samples had or stuff had gone to a vendor that hadn't brought stuff, but I didn't know what the Estabrook rep had taken from the table. And all of a sudden I looked down and stuff was missing. And that was panic inducing. It was like, how did I miss this entire stack of things walking away?
Yeah, even if you have,
I hadn't. She had just the rep had. I had been selling a pen to somebody. The rep had grabbed this stuff for a brand or for a shop and had thought I had known, but I hadn't because I was selling a pen to somebody. And like all of a sudden I realized that, oh, this stuff is gone.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking when you know of a friend that pens are gone and missing. I like when I'm at Pen Realm. I've helped out at Pen Realm a few times too, and I love what they do. If a pen comes out of a tray, Crystal uses a popsicle stick and puts it in there, so she knows that she knows that the pen wasn't stolen. It was sold, because she'll put a popsicle stick in its place right away. And then if she has a copy of the same, then she'll go and get it and restock it. But I like the fact that, you need to be, and some of the tables put cameras there. They have the video cameras going and stuff like that. So you can hopefully catch it, but
so Julia's saying that's what Joel Ink Pen does too. That's what Atlas does. I think that's what luxury brands now does. Like that system has been adopted by so many people because it is the only way to keep track of what pens are moving in and out of a table.
Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy at times. Working a table is fun.
It is fun.
I love getting to see what pens people are buying.
Yes, you get the vicarious thrill, right?
Yes. Yes. Especially like we were selling the prototype Model J's at Scriptus, and we also had 4 golden gratitudes, but people had to ask about them. They weren't on the table. We had King of the Night, which wasn't out yet, available for sale. We had Jurassic, which wasn't out yet for sale. Like it was such a fun booth to work because we had.
I can't wait for them to get their new pen in, and it's coming out soon. I heard Estabrook is getting the new Snoopy.
I know.
I can't wait. I want my Snoopy pen. I love Snoopy pens.
I don't disagree with this, but I no longer use the Con 40.
I hate the Con 40.
I'm just refilling the converter.
Yep. I clean out the converters and have fun. Peter says less than complete fill of pen works for him. He won't fill a pen all the way, so it's less waste. Because you want to put the ink back in the bottle. I would never do that, because when it's out of the bottle, over a period of time, it will evaporate a little bit, and the color changes ever so slightly.
I will say I have put stuff into, if I did get bored of something in my TWSBI once, and I did put that ink into a sample vial that I labeled. It was like any pens that take a whole bunch of ink, like sometimes I just get bored. But I also
we have so many bottles. Who cares if we lose a half, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Or make an inky mess, right? It's just
wait for the papers. No, Kate, I have not seen the Snoopy. I've only heard about it. They're going to have.
I've only heard about it too. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. I've only heard about it, but I heard that they got the licensing to do it, which is a cool thing. So I can't wait. I've had a friend of mine has taken a pen for me, and she is hand painting on it, a Snoopy, which is so cool. It's coming out so cool. She showed me a bit of it, the Snoopy on the doghouse, on his house. And she's had to figure out how we had a Monte Grappa white rollerball. We gave her to try it out to see how, and it's coming out so cool. Yeah, so I can't wait for that. But I heard that they're doing some more limited edition Snoopy and some regular Snoopy, whether it be I want to see Snoopy on the pen. I don't want to see a color that represents Snoopy.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just like.
I'm wondering if they're going to do something cool with the nib. They've done some cool stuff with nibs recently. Like all of the specialty ground nibs are all engraved. Like they don't have the Estabrook logo on them. Yeah. They've all got like different logos for the makers or like what the grind is, which is great if you've got all the specialty grinds because they're all now labeled. But I'm interested to see if they do something cool with the nib.
Yes, Francisco, I do have the watch. It was a Swatch watch. It's really the Omega Swatch watch. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's very cute. Oh, in fact, even so this is my Apple Watch. If I can get it. There you go. Let me. There's Snoopy on there. I got Snoopy in the background.
And you've got Snoopy on your watch band.
And I got Snoopy on the watch band. Yes, we're big Snoopy. In fact, I want to see if I can angle it so you can see. Look what's over there on the floor. And the reason why he's wearing a hat and a flamingo shirt, because it's actually Santa underneath that. But we're at the beach now, so and it dances. And you have the heart to put him back in the box, okay? I'm a kid. I'm a kid at heart. I'm such a kid at heart, I'll tell you. I'm reliving my childhood at 63.
Why not?
Does anybody not hate the Con 40?
Oh, they're terrible. They're awful. Like I take whenever you get a pilot and they give you the blue little cartridge.
Yeah.
Drain that right away. Clean it up.
I've got one soaking in the bathroom right now.
They're so easy to clean out. Just pop it out. I have a long tweezer that will take that plastic thing right out of there, and I just pull it.
That's smart. I need to get I need to take the little thing out.
Yeah, I got my long little tweezer here from Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you get the catalog yet?
No, I haven't.
That is weird. That is so weird. Because, and I'm surprised you haven't. Because it went out a while ago.
It did. So, but we also haven't been to the post office today, so it might be there.
No, that was a long time ago.
It was. Bought 2 Con 50s, got 2 Con 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's.
I wish everything fit the Con 70. I love the Con 70.
A friend of mine had a 3D printed one cartridge, and it works great. And she's trying to see. She got it made in Japan or something, and she's trying to see. But I guess the person is a student or something. He has no time to do more. So anybody out there that does any 3D printing, maybe you could practice. And then, hey, why not do 3D printed cartridges for, because those would be kind of cool. That would fit the pen. Yeah. So I don't, I think that would be kind of neat. Because they don't hold any ink. And they're a pain in the ass.
No, agreed. I'd rather just, deal with refilling a cartridge.
Yep. And then chances are, like in my pink pen, I have the perfect pink ink. I'll tell you it is that, yes, because I was so excited. It's just so perfect for it. Let me tell you. In there, I have Andrew Williams Rosette Spoonbill Pink.
I love that pink.
That pink is fabulous. It's a fabulous looking pink.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the new Andryllium colors?
I
No?
saw one or two of them, but I'll be interested to see more. I do love their inks. I use a lot of their inks. Their inks are great. In fact, they're doing the Miami Pen Show in
Mm.
July,
Mhm.
and it's going to be in Fort Lauderdale
Oh.
yes, using Miami name in Fort Lauderdale, much better venue. It's going to be at the Hilton Marina. She's going to have food trucks come in for a special night. They're going to be doing a silent auction, which people can bid on stuff that's been donated ahead of time and then the day of. They're trying to do a lot of nice things, and the venue is going to be much nicer than, because I told her, I said, if you do it in Miami again at the same spot, I'm not coming. And it's not because, and I love the people at End of Really Me. They're just so nice. And so they took we all had issues at the hotel.
Mm.
It just, I don't like going to Miami anyway, but this is going to be much better. It's beautiful marina. The rooms are beautiful. So if anybody's thinking about going or coming to Florida, coming to South Florida in the summertime. But as people are like, how can you live in Florida in the summer? I said, it's the same temperature in New England. And what do you do when it's hot? You stay indoors with the AC on, right? But yeah, so it's going to be it's going to be mid-July.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
I tell you, I think you should consider coming back because I think it's going to be great. They're already getting some vendors to sign up. I have vendors. I have the information and stuff. I can get to you. I'll give it to you when I see you next week in Baltimore. I told them I helped them out and spread the love. But they're gonna, so they're gonna do some fun stuff. They're great people. They're so nice, and I'm glad that they just decided to try to do it again. Any thoughts?
on so I am currently not going to Scrivener, but a lot of my friends are. Kari is teaching a class there.
When is that show?
The end of May. It's like May 24th. It's a single day though.
Yeah, I would consider going.
That's my thing is that it's a very long trip for a single day.
Yeah, I would consider going, but I'm having a joint reconstruction surgery on my right hand, which is my writer's hand. I'm in pain. It's the thumb. So, and they're going to take a tendon from here. So I don't know what my downtime, well, I do know what my downtime is going to be.
Yeah.
I just don't think I can, that's too soon after the surgery to travel. So,
Yeah.
and I've been practicing using my left hand, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I just currently, I can't make the math work on both Scrivener and Chicago. They're too close together and it's a single day. But it looks like it should be fun. I like their venue this year. It's a show that's been going on for a couple years, but has been very small, you had to be in the know to know about it. And this year is the first year that they're turning it into something big. I think Esterbrook is one of the sponsors this year. I think Esterbrook, Loystrom, a whole bunch of other people. There has been talk of a Western Pen Show in, I think it was Calgary. There was talk of a pen show, but
it's
have to get organized to put it on.
Yeah, and they probably should try to do a 2-day show, especially going over to Calgary. I was supposed to go to the Dutch Pen Show this year, and they're doing it 2 days now instead. But because of this, I can't. I have to have it done. So
Yeah.
I'm at the point now with the pain and everything that's there, and wearing the brace, I think aggravates it even more so. So that's why I'm out of the brace. But I'm very cautious.
So I have a custom heat molded brace.
Yeah, that's what they'll do for me.
Okay.
After, like, I'm going to cast for like a week, and then it goes to the custom brace.
Okay. Yeah,
And then
I've got
physical therapy.
I have an EXO, and they're expensive, but they're lovely.
Yeah. I figured I'd wait till after the surgery. Right now I have just something.
Well, the thing is, like, they can be remolded. So
Yeah.
you, if your brace is that uncomfortable right now, you can always get one now and just have it remolded after surgery.
Right. Yeah, I tell you, I'm having an MRI on my right elbow and shoulder tonight. Wah. Oh God.
Oh.
It's terrible. You get old. Getting old is not for sissies because I feel like I'm.
Okay, like, preaching to the choir here, Claire.
I know. Getting old.
It's the alternative.
I know. You know what though? Doing pens, being part of this club or community takes me out of the pain that I'm in. Seriously, when I go to a pen show, I'm so focused on the camaraderie, the after, like everybody getting together afterwards, and it's just so much fun. I was so exhausted when I got home from California though, because we were up one night, LA time, 3 a.m., which meant it was 6 a.m. our time. And, you're just sitting there talking, and I'm looking at my watch. Oh, just a few more minutes, just a few more minutes.
That's like, Chicago is just sleep deprivation. Like, I'm going into it knowing that I'm going to be sleep deprived for many nights.
I also decided not to do the Scotch tasting. The whiskey
I'm gonna
tasting.
have to do it alone.
Yeah, I decided against it because because of I've been coming right after Chicago, and I get home from the Chicago show, I'm having the surgery.
Oh, fair.
So I will have some drinks, but I don't want to overdo or overindulge, especially so close to surgery. Thank you, Inky Weens, for joining us today. I'm so glad that you could. I saw you made a comment on our Instagram. So glad that you could join us today, and make sure you come back. I do this with Alexandra once a month, and I'll post it.
Great, Francisco. Good to know.
Yeah. Okay.
I do love Mario. He was the first, for lack of a better term, victim for 20 questions. He, if you go back and see that first episode, it was shot in a hallway.
Yeah, I remember that.
We stole a table and we propped the camera up on a couple travelers' journals. And then the following day is when I stole a corner of a hallway and realized that stealing a corner of a hallway was way better than just stealing a random section of a hallway. LOL, victim of 20 questions. Those first couple episodes were rough. I will not.
I thought they were great.
They were great. They were just chaos behind the scenes.
We should do a live in Chicago, or a partial live. A partial live.
I am totally game for doing a live. I've also been asked by a couple people if they can do 20 questions again because they think their answers have changed.
Yeah,
and
like me. I told you I'd do it again.
Yeah, I may be in the process of creating or editing the 20 questions question list for 20 questions revisited.
Yeah, because things change.
So if people, I've got 20 questions Chicago lists. So I get this question a lot. There are very few rules for 20 questions. If you go back and watch the playlist, most people aren't Pen World celebrities. There have been a couple, like Drew. But most people I talk to are just people that like and use fountain pens. I feel like Alexandra was my victim. Wendy, I haven't started to edit your episode yet. It's on the schedule for this week. I just took out your introduction blurb for the trailer, and it was just taking out that I went, oh, this is going to be fun to edit. But like I've never, on the whole personalities thing, like I've always wanted to talk to anyone. And I think I've done an okay job at that. Like, I don't know. Yeah. There have been a lot of people that like don't even have Instagrams.
Mm.
And like
I
don't-
think it's a fun concept.
Yeah.
Me too.
The whole 20 questions things. And after I did it with you,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I could have done the questions a little differently because you just don't know what the questions are. And that's a good thing, not knowing ahead of time. Now, if you are watching 20 questions, then you know what the questions are. But if you're going to do a revisit and do something different or do the questions a little bit different, the answers will be, different.
I want to do mine over because apparently after every question I said, that's a good question. And I thought about it. And so now I have this like mega, I have this like,
So
complex about it.
I actually looked at this season very carefully because for the first 6 episodes this season, the feedback I was getting was, why are you just talking to Penworld celebrities? And the issue was Drew's episode went viral and the only episode people were watching was Drew's. And then they'd go to like the next person they recognized. And so there are nearly 60 episodes of the show up. But if you look at them in order of views, the only ones that have a whole bunch of views are Fig Boot, Hemingway, Drew, Helen. It's all the Penworld celebrities. There are dozens of episodes up for other people, but because we don't recognize them, people don't click on their faces. So if you want to see random people talk about pens, go click on someone's face you don't recognize, because I don't think there's been a single bad episode and you might discover somebody really cool.
That's good. I like Francisco's random question.
Well, we're at
We're at
2
2
hours and 11 minutes.
I way ahead of time.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that as soon as I press like end stream, I'll need to pee, but like for now I'm fine.
And I have to get my water in me, so because
Yeah. I've moved on from coffee to water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched them all. Like the people that have watched them all are I've watched them all because I have to edit them. I don't know that my mom's watched them all. Like there are nearly, with every episode I filmed, there are nearly 70 episodes. Once I've edited them all. Fine, I will get you the link for the playlist. But there are so many fun people that have been featured in the show. Like the two of you, like Sue Beck, like Ian Sean, who barely ever does interviews, who was one of my first guests. There are all these people that like are super fun to talk to. Get shareable link. There you go. They're all 69 episodes of 20 questions. Yeah, Mom, I watched most of them. Yeah, like there are a lot of episodes. I think my favorite season is still season 1, like the Chicago Pen Show season, because none of you knew what it was. All of you went in blind, and most of you had no idea who I was. I was just some random person going, "You want to talk about pens?"
The answer to that question is always yes.
But like I filmed with Annabelle, and Jonathan watched me do Annabelle's, and Dad finished filming Annabelle's, and Jonathan went, can I do that? And that's how Jonathan Brooks did his episode. I just like moved a chair over. Like that doesn't happen anywhere other than a pen show. And that first season was so much fun because none of you knew what it was. Now people know what it is. People know the questions. People come into it going, oh, I've thought a lot about the answer to this. But when I get to catch those people that like have no idea what it is still, it's so much fun because they don't know. And you really, for some of them, like you don't know what you're going to say until you're thinking about it. So there will be a new set of questions at Chicago for Revisited for some of them. I think I'm changing 7 questions. So some of them will be the same. Some of them are new.
Well, that's like when I did the Simone 8 pen.
So I will say, I do have a list of people that have rejected being on the show. I have a list.
Did they just not want to talk about pens, or are they shy or camera shy?
They did not want to talk about pens on my show.
Oh, what?
Why? Who wouldn't want to talk to you?
Yeah, right.
Let me know.
Better give them the business.
Let me know.
Shannon, we all have personalities.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, like when I get very tired, which will probably be pretty soon, the Boston will come out. Tell you.
If I was thinking,
sometimes
I would attempt my Boston accent for you.
Yeah, I parked my car.
It's not packed.
All I will say is that I was unhappy at the time, and then it became really funny that they said no.
Oh, Ivan wants names too. Hey,
Yeah.
Everybody wants names.
Everybody wants names. I've said
pitchfork.
too much, but that I'm not willing to say more. So, because it's drama that I don't want to be involved in. But it was really funny at the time.
Yeah, Kate. Yes, the fighting Boston.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I wanted to go to the Paper Mouse thing because I have to do a Boston. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't go to Boston, but it's the same weekend. I'm going to be at Fountain Pen Hospital, so helping with their spring show.
Okay, so last time people were asking about what weekend that event is. Do you know what weekend that event is?
Yes, I do know that. I know the
Mom,
weekend that event.
I know who they are. I know
I
you know who they are.
the 25th and the 26th is
So it's
of
the
April.
weekend. It's the weekend before Chicago.
Yes, so I'll be. It's going to be exciting. I come home from New York and then I board a plane to go to Chicago.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go to Boston on the other end. I don't know. That might be an interesting thing to do. Leave New York and go to Boston for 2 days and fly to Chicago from Boston. Oh, maybe that might be a workout.
Yeah.
I need to go visit my family.
That would make it less back and forth. You just like do a loop.
Do a loop-de-loop. Yeah, I know. I got to figure. Ooh, that might work. I got to think about that. That's a good idea. I can go stay at my brother's house probably.
I have not tried a Resale paper.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah.
What is it called?
I prefer. Well, I mean, I prefer many things over the new Tomoe River, like the 3-ring binder paper that we used in grade school. Like, I'd take that over new Tomoe River.
That is honestly how I feel about their paper. Like I do not like their paper at all.
It's not great, but I do love Erofo. Yeah, it's lovely.
Could it be the coating that Erofo puts on their Tomo paper?
Erofo puts coat.
No. What I'm saying is because it has the new Tomo paper, but some of the ones that have the, like, for instance, Hobonichi has Tomoe River paper.
Oh, Erofo is it's a brand like.
It's a brand that uses Tomo.
Yeah,
Yes.
so You can get that at Pen Realm at other, and I know
Okay.
that one for sure. I don't know about other retailers, but it is very nice. It reminds me of a slightly thicker Cosmo Air Light.
Mhm.
So, which I love Cosmo Air, so it kind of scratches that itch for me. But, oh, we have a paper hierarchy. That would be an interesting graphic, wouldn't it? Okay, Old Tomoy River, Cosmo Air Light. You like New Tomoy River? Interesting.
That would be such a fun, you know, those like tier list videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I did when I had a much smaller ink collection. I did one with my ink collection, I think last year, and my pen collection last year, which was stupidly fun. Not doing one this year. There are too many inks, there are too many pens. It would be such a long video. But doing one of those videos for paper would be fun.
So I
Mhm.
thought the hobos used New Tomoy River this year. Did they use something different?
They did, but there was a sizing issue on the paper. And the paper would like randomly bleed and spot through, and it's in every
I was like,
and in lots of them it didn't kick in until like June or July. So you would be setting up.
mine kicked in earlier.
Okay.
Not happy.
I know for Lexi's didn't kick in until later in the year, and she was so upset.
Yeah, what I ended up doing was I had to piece, actually I pieced, because I wrote, like I put a postcard that Kari did because when I was writing something on the underside and it bled through on this side. I went a day ahead or something. And this bled over here, so I put a postcard down. And it's like, not happy about that. So, yeah, I covered it up with putting stuff down, but I have not, I don't know. Plus the fact I think this is just too big for me. I like the days free.
On Tomoy River, I only use one side. I know it's wasteful, but like my notebooks, if I'm journaling in them, I just write on one side because
Well,
they
that's why I love the days free, because I write
Mhm.
on one side and I'm not worried about anything. I like the days free because it's also smaller. I actually have it in the smaller, this one, I travel with this days free, the little one.
Okay.
So it's just, you just write on, it has a calendar and then I can just write in on one side. It's actually, this one actually worked two sides, except I have to be careful about the pen that I use because now this side is just, but it stays free, so I don't care. You know, it doesn't matter. There's no dates. You can put your own date when you decide you want to journal, so.
I would say there's
but-
lots of papers that I only actually use one side of. Like
Mhm.
I
I
even
was given
yeah.
a Mont Blanc notebook.
Yeah.
And I adore it. And it's really thick paper that you can write on both sides. But I don't
Yes.
know and haven't been able to find what kind of paper is that. Do they have a proprietary one or are they using a?
They've got their own paper of some sort because they've also got a couple
Luxurious.
different types of paper because I have a couple of their note cards from their letter sets,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so nice. And I've got a couple of their 100th anniversary postcards from last year, and they're just somehow I ended up I had picked up a set, and then my sales associate had to order something in for me, and he then sent me 2 sets.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I've got 3 sets kicking around the studio, and like at some point I need to do something with them because they are so pretty. I love the black line work in them,
Beautiful.
but the paper of them is so nice.
Mm.
I love their paper.
I keep one on my bedside as my dream journal.
Yeah.
So I pick like I especially if I wake up in the middle of the night and I have specific dreams and I write them down in that, and so that's what I keep on my bedside. So I have a dream, like if I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't know why my video keeps flip-flopping or something. That's kind of weird. Anyway, so I keep a dream journal by my bed, and I use a Mont Blanc journal for that, and it's quite lovely. So,
I do like their paper. I just haven't. I have their pens, I have their ink, and I have not made the jump to like actually buying one of their notebooks because as much as I like them, like that seems like taking another step into the world.
You
It's
will
like
not regret it though.
I know I won't, but it's like I know that I prefer desk pads.
Sure.
Like that's just how I like to work. I don't love, if I'm working from a notebook, I like it to be spiral bound or small. That's why I love traveler's inserts, because I can burn through one of those in like a month and a half, 2 months, and then I'm on to the next thing.
I use the passport book, the traveler's passport, and I just finished filling one of them that I use from when I go to the pen show. So I have Philly and the California Pen Show in one of those, and everybody that I get a sticker from or they have their stamps, that's what I use that for, because it's kind of cool. So I have my 2025, but now I have to put a new one in there for Baltimore and for Chicago, for the Chicago stationery, which I'm
So
excited.
my passport I've got the calendar, the
Mhm.
monthly, and then I've got a brain dump notebook, which I always decorate the covers, because otherwise, like, then how do you know what's in stuff?
Right.
And so everything, I hate sketching. Anyone who watches my watercolor videos will know how much I despise sketching. I like painting, but I hate sitting down to sketch, except to do these covers, in which case I will sit down for like 3 or 4 hours and sketch everything out in pencil and then go over it and ink it in black ink.
Bye, Kate. Thank you for tuning in for this for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, honestly, I'm approaching like my done point as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I have physical therapy this afternoon, so I'm gonna have to get running too.
I have a nap.
I have PT for my foot, so
Yeah,
which they killed me the other day. I was like so sore.
I have physio tomorrow, but today I have a nap.
Good. You got to schedule the naps in.
You gotta schedule the naps, especially with a brain injury. Like if you don't schedule the naps, you've screwed up the rest of your day. I did not schedule. I think it was Saturday. Saturday, I thought I might be able to do it without a nap, and then at like 3:30, I was dying. I was staring at my laptop and like my eyes were bouncing, and I was like, "Mom, can you wake me up at 5?"
Yeah, that's always good. But I want to thank Tori for joining us today, and can't wait to see you this week in Baltimore. Are you bringing Mom with you?
Not Mom this time. I'm working at the Pen Round Table, so you can catch me there, and look forward to seeing you there, and hopefully some other folks. And Alexander, can't wait to
And I
see
can't
you
wait to see
in Chicago.
I'm so excited for Chicago. It's like this winter's been long.
Yeah.
It has been
Is it
long.
snowing today?
It is not snowing today. We are covered in cloud, but it is like white cloud, so like it looks like it's bright, which is potentially worse than, actually no, it's not worse. It is not worse than a whiteout. I just wish that like we had actual sun.
Yes, 4 more days. We have the countdown. My husband's so mad at me because our flight leaves at 5:10 in the morning on Thursday morning. But in all fairness, I'm going to be interviewed at Pen Boutique, and I got to be there at 11. I'm doing one of their podcasts, the Pen Enjoyment podcast, right? And so it will be fun. So I said, because of flight schedules, if I went later, then I couldn't do it. So fine, I'll get there at 7:30 in the morning. We'll go to the hotel. Hopefully our room will be ready. If not, I'll just have to put my makeup on in the lobby and store everything. So whatever.
So we've still got 6 feet of snow on the front lawn just because of how everything was shoveled. But we're down to 2 feet in the backyard. Like you can see out the door in my office again. I can see the fence again, and that feels like a win. It's like
take the wins where you can.
Well, so at one point we had so much snow that you couldn't see the railing on our back deck, and we were approaching 6 feet of snow everywhere. The snow pile in the grocery store parking lot is still over 35 feet tall, but it won't be winter for that much longer. I just keep telling myself that.
No, pretty soon it'll be over. This is March. You have until stop snowing there in what, in June?
Yeah, last year we got snow mid-May.
Yeah.
So
All right, well, ladies, the day job is calling, so I must
Yeah,
bid you
so
adieu.
anyway,
Thank
goodbye,
you so
everybody.
much for having me.
thank you so
To
much
all
for
the
coming
people
and
that
hanging
are
out.
hung. Thank you for
You're the
everybody that
best.
hung out with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you
It
for
was
everyone that
fun.
covered.
Thank you.
And
All right.
hey, listen, check us out on it. You know, like make comments if you have
Yep.
if you have an idea what you want us to talk about next month. Okay.
Or if you've got any questions, and everyone's socials are linked below.
Yep.
And
So
Tori's
perfect,
shop
Chris.
is linked below as well. So
Thank you.
go
Perfect.
spend money.
Thanks, everyone.